Once upon a time, in the city of New York, lived a woman by the name of Khadija Farouk. Khadija once lived with her family who were immigrants from West Africa. Her and her parents, along with her sister and brother, made their way on a boat from their home and established roots in New York City. Her father and mother, Kwame and Adjo, respectively, had pooled their money together and took out a loan to rent a storefront and open an African grocery store in West Harlem. The name of the store was Open Heart Grocery and Goods. Though the trials and tribulations of opening a small business in New York City were great and many, the family persisted and saw success. Khadija and her siblings went to the local school, and soon Khadija learned more than she could imagine. Though fashion and music were a constant, nothing quite grabbed her attention as much as civil rights and social issues. She was consumed with the study of writing, studies and writings by Ida B. Wells, Whitney Young, and Malcolm X, and many others. Taking their passion and words to heart, she grew into a forward-thinking woman who wanted to pursue for a better America, but not just a better America, more importantly, a better New York City. As she grew in age, her fervor grew with her. A flame was burning bright, and she planned to make actionable change. There was once a venture capitalist and real estate mogul by the name of Chrysilos Midas that was buying property in West Harlem and the Upper West Side, pushing out low-income families out onto the street. He was a cruel and shrewd businessman who had no thoughts for anything but wealth. No one would stand up to him. No one but Khadija. Khadija had begun collecting data on him, giving speeches in front of his developments across West Harlem to groups of people who would listen and care as well. Months and months turned to years, and finally, the time had come to strike. Khadija, how are you preparing to strike against Chrysilos Midas?
I have a little hideout away from prying eyes, especially my mom, my dad, my siblings. Anytime that I bring it up to them, they kind of tell me to just keep my head down, mind my business, be an acceptable minority. They say it out of fear, but I can see the fear in their eyes. So I have my own space. I've tracked this man expertly. I have routes, his favorite routes, places he likes to go. I have his schedule for most days. Obviously, he diverts every so often, but nothing that I can't account for. I've gathered testimony from people who agreed to speak with me. I've collected records that people were brave enough to give me. And after years of compiling, now's the time.
Khadija, you gather some things. Are you going to present this to a local paper, or are you going to present this directly to Chrysilos Midas, a copy to him, to see on his face?
I've taken the liberty of doing both. Obviously, the stuff that I give him is slightly more edited. Lots of newspaper clippings, different letters, trying to be a little bit more scary, if you will.
Collections of manila envelope folders are going to be dispersed amongst some of the multitudes of newspapers and magazines that call their offices home in New York City. They're going to be distributed by similar radical free thinkers that you find in your circle. This is the easy part. The hard part is what you're going to do. You said that no one else could do it but you. You were going to take your own folder and you're going to go right up to him and you're going to see him read it and you're going to prepare something to say to him. We see Khadija gather her things. Khadija, what are you wearing?
All black. All black everything. And for flair, I have a West African flag pin over my heart on my jacket.
We see you collect yourself and you open the door of your hideout, your special place, and you step through, and the camera follows through into a black void. An expanse of nothing. Nothing but shining, bright golden orbs collected in a vacuum. The camera moves across these orbs as they glow and twinkle almost like stars in an endless sky. And the camera focuses on just one. Most of these orbs never move after passing on to the afterlife, but we see this one stir and hear whispers. Awaken, little one. Your time is not over yet. Come to me. The orb stirs more and more, and then it moves almost as if it's been dislodged from place, and it starts drifting above these other orbs and moving through the blackness. We are in New York City. Khadija, you are walking down the street. It is late fall, early winter. Things are starting to become cold. You have your hood up. You are collected, though, driven, as you make your way to the offices of Chrysalis Midas Investments. You've picked an hour to where you know that the front desk security will be changing shifts. You wait for your moment to walk through the double doors, hop over a railing that protects people from not moving through metal detectors. Nobody notices you. Can you please, for me, roll your heart?
That's a 10.
Quickly, you lose yourself. Well, you know exactly where you are, but make sure that nobody who even might have caught a whiff of a young woman making her way into this business office would notice you. You stand to the back of an elevator as you see people are chattering, going into their shifts, not knowing what's about to happen to them. The elevator dings as you hit the 64th floor. You step out, and you see a brilliant wood-paneled wall with a giant golden M with lights reflecting behind it that says Midas in large letters, investments beneath it. There's a woman sitting behind the desk. She's young, African American, has her best business appearance on, talking on the phone. She says, "One moment," and hits the hold button, looks at you and says, "Can I help you?"
I'm afraid you can't. And I go to move past her.
Roll blood for me, please.
That's a 12.
She has a look of confusion on her face. She can't parse what you're saying. Almost dumbfounded. She's never experienced anything like this. And you move quickly past her around the wood panel walls into an open office area where you can see people talking on phones. Imagine, if you will, the open office space from Wolf of Wall Street. You have people cursing, talking. These are different investment aides, different investment corporate speak business people that go about their day like ants in an ant farm. And you just move directly past them. They are so focused on what they are doing that they have no realization of who you are or what you are doing. And you make your way directly to the center, where you see golden accented doors of rich mahogany open, And you see this man, Chrysalis Midas, on the phone, not knowing. We are in a void. Seeing this golden orb move with purpose. Drifting, being called, not knowing if it's to a new glorious purpose or to a siren song. As more whispers of, that's it. You're getting closer. Closer, so much closer. You're going to do so well. This woman's voice is dulcet, refreshing, relaxing as this orb is pulled more, and we see it starting to move focused on what might be a break through the void, a clearing of grasslands with sparse trees dotting the landscape. A brilliant purple and blue sky with multitudes of stars and swirls of constellations and galaxies reach above it. And there we see other orbs, but are not just orbs, with the shapes of animals and people moving throughout. They glow brilliantly, living an afterlife that they have deserved after years of turmoil and toiling. We are in New York City. Khadija, you make your way to those double doors, to that man's desk. What do you do?
I very slowly pull down my hood. And I smirk.
He says, 1 second. And he hangs up the phone. Can I help you?
I just wordlessly slide the envelope across the desk.
Typically, there's somebody to tell me that there's a courier going to drop off a package for me. Let me please... This has my name on it. This is for me. This isn't a bomb or anything, is it?
Not in the way you think. Turn on the news.
His smile falters, and he looks over at his assistant who was collecting files into folder boxes, and he snaps at the assistant, a thin, wiry man. He hits the television as he opens the manila envelope and pulls out papers and just wordlessly reads, as you can hear. Breaking news today in the financial district, as investment mogul and venture capitalist Christos Midas's, all of his different transactions, years and years of things that he has compiled, his wealth is seemingly disappearing right from under him. The anchor goes on, touching on every single thing that he has done, every single bit of undercutting, backstabbing, wheel greasing, as his eyes are pointed and sharp like daggers. He's wearing gloves, leather gloves, that fit amongst his business suit, and they start clenching the paper, and he looks up at you. You did this?
I did. Your reign, my liege, is over. And I turn to walk away.
You hear the assistant say, "Should I call security, sir?" As you hear the banks of phones start erupting in that open office. And he says, "No. I will deal with this." And he grabs the phone as you make your way. We are in the void. Seeing the orb pass over and start dancing around the different trees, brushing itself against the grassland, stopping and looking at gazelle grazing. And we hear the dulcet voice say again, "No, don't tally." You have such great things that you need to do. Come to me, follow my voice. Follows. Moving. Being pulled almost like a steer with a lasso. Being drawn to this voice. As you can see, almost a whirlpool that some of the spirits are looking up at, confused. And it's being pulled to it. Like a boat in a storm going down a whirlpool, it's drawn to it, circling and circling. We are in New York City. You get in the elevator. Hit the lobby. How do you feel, Khadija?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I also know I need to move. My time is very limited, so I am moving with purpose. I have taken my sweatshirt off and flipped it inside out, and the outside's actually gray.
Mm-hmm.
And I quickly tie my hair up.
Mm-hmm.
I take out like a red lipstick, quickly throw it on my lips.
Mm-hmm.
I am wearing like a low-cut shirt underneath,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of just zip up the hoodie to, get the girls sitting right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a backpack. I don't have anything. I just stand there, waiting.
Please roll heart.
I'm so glad I brought out the big boy dice. That's an 11.
An 11. You move out with the shuffle. As you can see, every TV in this lobby has the news on. Bloomberg News, CNN, Fox, C-SPAN. C-SPAN Economics. It's not as big as C-SPAN 1, 2, or 3, but it's still important. All covering. Has Midas lost his golden touch? Seems to be the headline that most of them are taking on broadcasting news. As you move your way through the metal detector, does not go off. Security guards seem confused. They start making their way towards the elevator bank, seemingly looking for a woman that would have fit your description, but you don't fit that description anymore. As you make your way out into the cold, the streets of Manhattan, you turn and you start walking. Where are you going, Khadija?
I'm gonna go meet up with some of my friends, some of the people who made this happen. There's a little bar that we like. It's in the neighborhood. We like to support our own businesses. Not huge, but it does what we need it to.
You're making your way. It's not a quick walk, but it's not a long one either, and it gives you proper time to calm down, to reflect, as you're passing by electronic stores that have TV banks on that are all covering this news coverage. A glow of neon and brilliance upon your complexion as you're getting to witness your actions, direct action, praxis being achieved in real time. Until you bump into somebody, knocking you both to the ground.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry. She's
here.
Gathering.
Let me help you.
She looks at you directly in her eyes. She has a dark complexion. You would recognize the features and the complexion of somebody being from West Africa. Somebody that might be from where you are. She is wearing a blue suit with pants, a brilliant purple blouse. She's dropped a bunch of papers, but she's gathering them into a folder. And she goes, "Apologies. My name..."
I'm sorry. And I'm trying to like help kind of like scurry some of the papers together.
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you. And you both stand up almost like a meet cute. She goes, "I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I just bumped right into you. What?"
It was me. We're good. It was
Shanti.
Khadija.
Where you headed off in a rush, Khadija?
I was just gonna go meet up with some friends.
I was just gonna do the same. But their financial district hacks and terribly dreadful. So I'm probably just gonna skip. But I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything like that.
No, you didn't interrupt. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to apologize. Actually, you can make up for it because some of my papers are really wet and they're gonna have to dry out, and they need someplace warm to dry out.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I tag along and get a drink with you? Or would your friends mind? I don't want to interrupt.
I mean, I'm my own woman, right? So.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can, and you see like Khadija just start to like, yeah, you could come with me.
You start walking to the bar, talking, getting to know one another. Shanti is a businesswoman who just started working down in the financial district. She's making her up and coming, but she's feeling really iffy about the whole situation. She went to university, Columbia. She's been in New York City for a long time. You can tell that she feels guilty because she's definitely one of those sorts that had figured that she would change things from the inside, but she's seeing that it's a cruel and gruesome machine that's hard to change from the outside, or from the inside. You speak with her about some of the things that you do. Some of the direct action that you take, the things that you help with, organizations, fundraising, mutual aid. You talk on and on that you don't even realize that you're not walking towards the bar anymore. You've ended up near Central Park.
We got sidetracked. We should.
I typically don't get lost at all. I'm sorry.
I don't either. This was. I mean, you're just so interested. Like, I don't know, Shanti. Maybe this is weird, but I don't talk to people like you, and it's really refreshing.
I've always wanted to talk to more people like you. It's really refreshing.
I see what you did there. Okay, that's cute. I'll give you that.
Would you like to come back to my apartment?
I mean, I would, but I really should.
How about
I
this?
can't leave them hanging.
I understand. How about this? Come up for a drink. You can give them a phone call, say that you're on your way, and we'll exchange numbers. And if you want to meet up again. How about that?
Khadija just kind of like looks over her shoulder, like in disbelief. Like, why is she talking to me? And me?
You.
For real?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Let's go then. You walk then to a small brownstone, unassuming, down an alleyway. It's a walk up. It's very quaint, very nice. She walks you up the steps. There are trees out in the front. She unlocks the door, walks you up to the top floor of it. You get to her door. You can smell scents. They smell like home. They feel like home. She looks at you. She goes, "You're not uncomfortable with this, right? I can call you a cab if this is too much."
No, I mean, are you talking about The smells? Because
Yeah, it's kind of
no, you listen. That's where my family's from. You're good. I
perfect.
know. I'm sure you have to apologize a lot for that, but I'm not one of those people you gotta apologize for being yourself with.
I don't typically bring people over, so she puts the key in the lock and she unlocks the door. You walk into her apartment. It is culturally significant. There are decorations that remind you of home. It is a blend of what would be modern in the 80s with accents of different effigies and collections from West Africa. In the center of the room, there is a table, a circular table. It seems to have been carved out of some sort of wood, maybe banana wood. In the very center, there's a centerpiece to it, a collection of dried flowers, bones. In the very center, there's a dull glass orb. She goes, make yourself comfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and grab those drinks. The phone's right over there if you want to let them know that you're coming.
All right, cool. Yeah. Um, it's over there.
Just right over there. And she points across from the table.
Okay. And so I make my way to the phone, and I mean, none of this is off-putting to me, right? Like this feels very home.
Until you take the receiver and you put it to your ear, and you don't hear that tone that you're normally accustomed to. It seems dead. We are now in the void. That golden orb is swirling up this whirlpool, being pulled forth, and we hear the voice say, "You're almost there." We are in New York City, and we see Shanti making something in a poultice with a mortar and pestle, putting something together. There's a rich smell coming from it. It's not like any cocktail that you've ever smelled before. You're staring at this receiver, and you notice the glass orb on the table begins to glow a brilliant gold color.
Hey, yo, Shanti, your phone's not working.
Oh, it's... Damn Belle. Always trying to fuck with our phone service. I apologize. As you can see her... You hear the clink of something.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just making this. I'll be right over. I have a cell phone that they gave me from work. It's in my bag. We are in the void. There is a swirling and a pull and then a pop. We are in New York City, and that glass orb is now glowing and growing, brilliant white. You turn as you say, "I could just go," and you see Shanti standing there, a purple powder in her hands. And she looks at you and she says, "You're just perfect," in your home tongue. And she... dust, powder in your face.
What the fuck, Shanti? What the fuck?
You feel things molding, blending, your vision blurred.
Shanti, I'm not. What was that?
You hear the clinking of dried reeds and beans together.
Shanti, please, can you just tell me? Because I'm starting to freak out.
The last thing you see, Khadija, is Shanti holding that brilliant, white, bright orb in her hands as she says, "You're absolutely perfect."
No. No.
And then
Please.
a brilliant white light fills the screen. And then nothing. Good evening. and welcome to Carrion Comfort Studios. My name is Wes Franks, your MC for tonight. I'm privileged to present to you Fables Once and Future, an Urban Shadows 2nd Edition series. Before we get to some announcements, let us please meet our cast, starting with April.
Hi, hello, I am April. I am playing Hannah. I'm using the Imp playbook. That's me. Hello.
Next, we have Jacob.
Hey everyone, Jacob Plick, Duval King Jacob, Twitter, Instagram, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Buffkin of the Fate playbook. Sorry, I'm fired up as shit after that. And he also uses he, him as well.
Perfect. Prince.
Hello everyone, I'm Prince, also known as Dimples and Dice around the internet, and I am playing a meme bag, The Aware. Both of our pronouns are he, him.
Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, also at Ms. Petty Dreadful Online, she, her. Tonight I'm playing Vera, also she, her. And my playbook is The Veteran.
Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven, pronouns they, she. I am playing Khadija, pronouns she, her. And we are using the vampire or a modded vampire playbook.
And last but certainly not least, Sade or Ambrose.
Hello, Sade, or Ambrose, she, they. I am playing Maddie, the Enchantress, using the Wizard playbook. Her pronouns are she, her.
A special shout out to the patrons and subscribers to CCS for making this and other shows possible. Without your support, none of this would be happening, and we thank you for it. If you would like to support CCS directly, please consider signing on to our Patreon. Our cast and I have worked hard to present to you the best possible show we could. If you would like to compensate us for tonight's episode, then please type !Fables in the chat to bring up a link to our Pally page, where you can tip us for our hard work. We have a series of goals for this show, and every dollar helps us get closer and closer to them. The next one being playlists for the characters as well as the series, which I think would be very poignant for those to be released upon the ending of this show. I will also state that if you do tip enough or contribute enough to that Pally, we will consider maybe having a season 2 for this show. So it's something to think about. Our artwork was masterfully created by a fantastic artist by the name of Lynn. You can find her work at www.artstation.com/gremlinart, as well as on Twitter at twitter.com/gremlinart. You can contact her directly to where she will have a commission sheet to where you can commission her to make brilliant and wonderful bespoke art that will evoke not only the theme and the ambience of the show, but also the characters that you want to be portrayed. Please do consider taking the time as well as the finances to hire her and other artists. Fables Once and Future is a show with mature themes that include strong language, violence, politically motivated turmoil, sexual content, and more. I and the cast have sat down and discussed our lines and veils before the game in our private Session 0, and we have multiple safety tools on hand if the need arises. 2022 marks the 20th anniversary of the comic book Fables. That is why it was imperative to me to make sure that I treated the source material with the utmost respect. With that comes my job to adapt and make sure that our narrative honors that of Fables. But we must also improve on it as well. That is why in this telling of the story, all Mundies and Fables introduced in this story shall be judged on how they act and not how they look, speak, worship, fuck, and present themselves. You will be seeing familiar Fables from the comic books in tonight's show. They might act a little bit differently, and there might be some story beats that are different from what you might expect from the comic book as well as the video game series The Wolf Among Us. This is just our adaptation. Please keep that in mind. Our story also deals with fables and folklore that are beyond the Eurocentric focus of the original series. I've worked with PhD coordinator Helena Galib of the Cultures and Contact in the Mediterranean PhD program, as well as PhD coordinator Cesar Carreras of the Classical Archaeology program at the University of Alabama in Birmingham as sensitivity and cultural consultants to make sure that the story we tell for the next several weeks is not only exciting, meaningful, and heart-wrenching, but also earnest and respectful. from the bottom of my hearts, thank you so much, Helena and Cesar, for your time and your knowledge to help me craft something that I think is truly wonderful. Are y'all ready?
Let's fucking do this, man. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Well then, without further ado, I present to you Fables, Once and Future. Welcome back. Before we start with our episode today, and it's going to be a doozy of one, I want to touch on some moves that we have to figure out here real quick. I've got Hana. You've successfully completed a scheme. In your scene later, you will also have another successful scheme. So, I think those are all your schemes that are going to be completed. Would you like to start a new one?
Yeah, might as well.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Go
It's
ahead
last
and
episode.
roll with mind.
10.
10. On a 10 plus, you get the opportunity to advance one of your schemes or generate a new scheme. You're going to be generating a new scheme, so you also get to pick one. A loyal customer reveals the secrets of a powerful NPC, your choice. An NPC who owes you a debt appears to make good on their obligation. A status 3 NPC of your circle offers you a debt for your services.
I feel like I should ask for really good information on an NPC.
Perfect. A loyal customer reveals the secrets of a powerful NPC, your choice. We will go ahead and deal with that as the time arises. So your scheme. What are you wanting to do?
Survive the next encounter.
How does that look for Hana?
I'm gonna pull out some new weapons and toys and do that whole like prayer buff thing from my boys.
Okay, so
All stuff that'll probably be in my scene.
yeah. Well, so this is going to be typically like, okay, so you want this new scheme, you want it to help with your survival for what's coming next.
Yeah.
So you get to pick. So okay, so I'm going to. Okay, so I think this is dealing with power, but you roll with mind instead. A loyal customer is going to reveal a secret to a powerful NPC of your choice within that scene that we're going to do. I'm going to tell you 2 complications.
Okay.
You've attracted the attention of dangerous opposition,
Yeah, that's normal.
and you
It's a normal
require
Monday.
an unreliable or untrustworthy co-conspirator.
Okay. I feel again that's just normal business
Yeah.
day for.
And then we'll see what boons and payouts you get if this scheme is achieved. Okay?
Cool.
Amazing. Khadija, there are several people that are trapped within your web.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you, at the start of the game, or as time passes, choose someone in your web and learn a secret about them that they would rather keep buried. You get to mark corruption to ask a follow-up question about the answer. Which one do you choose, and what would you like to learn?
I'm gonna pick Shanti again.
Shanti. Very good choice. What would you like to know about Shanti?
What is her weakness?
That's kind of a big question. All right.
Or what is something that would allude to a weakness of hers? Not necessarily the weakness, but what is one of them?
Shanti is a powerful magic user. One might call a witch or a mage of some sorts. Though her power is not drawn directly from inherent blood or any kind of magical power that's been bestowed upon her, yet it is bestowed upon her by the use of different poultices, different components, spell components in D&D speak. If you were to separate her from her spell components, which she keeps on her, she has a lot of major ones in her apartment, but she does keep some on her at all times, just in case, because you never know. Then you would be essentially taking away her power from her. Would you like to mark corruption for a follow-up question?
Boy, would I.
Okay.
What are the components that she keeps on her person?
She utilizes a series of powders, potions, and salves. Salves are known for healing. The potions are known for essentially buffing. And the powders are used for a mixture of essentially offensive and debuffing effects, to put it into gamer speak, essentially.
All right, writing that down. Give me a second.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then lastly, because I'm gonna ask a follow-up question.
Okay, you're gonna mark another corruption?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay.
Does she consider Khadija a weakness of hers personally?
In Shanti's own fucked up, much maligned way of thinking, she does love Khadija. It is a very toxic and it is a very unhealthy kind of love. But she does love Khadija. So in that, yes, she does see that Khadija is a weakness.
You know what? I'm gonna mark another corruption. It's fine. We're just here.
Okay,
And I'm gonna take another
you're gonna
move and
take a
it's the last
corruption
one.
move. All right.
Would she say that her love for Khadija is a love of necessity?
No.
Okay. All right, that's it. I'll let you know what I take.
Perfect. All right. Khadija, let's go ahead and start with you. As a brilliant white light that filled that screen, that darkness, we cut back to you. Everybody has, we're going to say for brevity's sake, everybody has left the burrow. I'm assuming you made your way to your haven.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do in the upcoming afternoon, essentially, to prepare for what's coming next? What is going to be on Khadija's priority list? What are you doing?
So I think I'm going to actually eat.
Oh,
Okay. I have stockpiles of like fresh fruits.
okay.
There is a deep freezer essentially that has, different meats and stuff. So I've let that kind of thaw out so I can actually eat.
Got it.
So I am gonna do that. I also I have a contingency plan there as well.
Okay.
So just going based off the move Haven. Says you have a safe place secure from outside dangers. It has emergency rations, a few ghouls, which she may or may not have. We're not going to talk about that just yet. An escape vector.
An escape vector. Got it.
So she is making sure that if shit goes down and it is really bad, she can essentially have a way out. I would say the way out isn't big enough for everybody. It would probably be 1 or 2 people at max. But it is essentially like a tunnel into the sewers and like this whole underground area to evacuate.
There is a cabinet in your haven. It's a lower cabinet that's near the sinks and everything. That if you open the doors, it's filled with a bunch of paper towels, because you know how paper towels stack up and everything like that. If you move those paper towels out, there is a hole that has been carved and chiseled out that is essentially a slide down into the sewers as a getaway, we will say.
So I'm going to make sure that that's good. I will roll for my hunger.
Go ahead. Roll blood.
That is an 11. God, I'm telling you, these big boy dice. Man.
On a 10 plus, you heal 1 harm or take 1 forward.
Yeah, I'll take the +1 forward.
Take the +1 forward. You learn a secret about your prey, if it's human, but it's not human. And your prey does not suffer harm because it's not human. You do not need to eat for the remainder of the day.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Is there anything else you need to do? Or you want to do?
I do have a cell phone, so I'm going to call Shanti.
All right. You do need to leave from your basement dwelling so you can get service. It's an old cell phone. You step out into the alleyway. The camera is going to do a little trick. Like as you step up out of those open doors, you step into the alleyway, and in just the distance, in the background, we can see a sign that says Open Heart Grocery and Goods. And you pull out your cell phone and you call Shanti's number. It rings 3 times and you hear, hello.
Wow, you sound pressed.
Khadija.
Shanti.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this phone call?
You know, I don't fucking know. But we've spent so much time together, I can't seem to shake you. I still want the divorce. Don't get any funny ideas.
Okay. That's fine, if that's what you want. I would still prefer that we talk about all of this. Give me a chance to explain myself.
I don't have time for that, Shanti. Shit's going down. I'm sure you already know about it.
I heard rumblings, but I was hoping they weren't true.
Well, they are. So, I'm making peace with all of this. You know, Shanti, I started to dream again. Weird how that happens. I had a dream about fields, gazelle grazing. I had a dream about being displaced from my rest. And apparently those memories that you got, well, since Maddie severed that hold, bit by bit, I'm starting to remember shit. You know she cried out for her parents, right?
I was there.
And you still don't care. Well, my love, I pray for your sake that they kill me. 'Cause if not, you're next. And I hang up.
Shanti will remember this.
Good. And that's it. I'm done.
All right. Vera.
Hey, that's me.
What are you doing with your preparation time before this all goes down?
Yeah, so we just got out of a huge fight. Sorry, my dogs have just entered my office. So we've just gotten out of a fight situation. Buffkin healed me up, but I think Vera is pretty shaken. And kind of like, as soon as everyone leaves and they like go their separate ways, has the sword not really on her back, but is like carrying it in her arms, like in the wrapping, so like it's not out or visible, but it's just like she's kind of holding it a little tighter as she walks back, and the sort of like the person who was like handing out green teas and doing that sort of fades back and is just sort of the shaken woman. Makes her way home, remembering like a very clear threat made to her place of business. Very carefully unlocks the door to the shop, locks it behind her, checks the lock again, and then sort of starts to do a sweep of the shop. Just sort of like turns her own like electric kettle on, almost like forgetting to do so, but notices on the counter when she's looking for things and turns it on real quick and starts making herself a cup of tea to sort of ease those nerves.
Go ahead and give me a mind check.
Yeah, absolutely. My mind is what I leveled up, so I have +2 now.
Fantastic.
That makes it an 8.
An 8. You're going through. There's a gross feeling of like boundaries being broken as the kind of things that you learned today. And you're going through and you're checking everything. And you're checking everything. And you notice those blood splotches on the floor. And you follow them back to the little corner where there are books and tomes collected in your shop. And you notice there's a smear, like a little handprint on a bookcase where something was missing. And you can assume that's where the scroll was that they're talking about. There's a little place. It's like a hole. And you just see a note. Looks like an old legal pad.
Yeah, I grab it.
You open it. You look at it, and it's written in what might be Arabic?
I reach over the bookshelf and grab like a like travel dictionary to try to translate it.
It takes some time to translate it. Go ahead and roll mind for me again.
That's nothing. It's a 5.
It's gonna take you a while. And you don't get a direct translation. It says, I had nowhere else to go. They were looking for me. They found me and I killed one of them. You don't know me, but I know you. I read a lot, and I've heard about you, so I figured that a knight could keep this safe. Make sure they don't get it. and it's signed Morgiana. Morgiana.
Yeah, I think the frustration of this taking so long to translate and then slowly uncovering that it is just a message that was received far too late to do any good. Vera is like wiping angry, hot tears off her cheek, kind of as she pulls, like she kind of pulls all her stuff up into her workshop upstairs, grabs her a couple things from downstairs and heads up and begins just like furiously kind of putting things together.
You told me something that you wanted to work on.
I did.
And we're going to keep it a secret. But I'm going to let you know. It is going to require a rare and an expensive ingredient or material. And it's going to mean exposing somebody nearby to serious fallout.
Yeah, I think Vera is too kind of in her own like head, in her own thing to care necessarily about fallout in this particular moment. And if it's just... So there's a couple ways I can do this. Is there something specific I need to get, or I just need something that's going to cost a lot of...
We're going to say that you already have this expensive material.
Okay.
But you're going to need to do something for me.
Okay.
To have received this, to Vera have received this, Rachel, you're going to have to owe a debt to somebody.
Okay.
It's going to have to be a debt owed to Bluebeard for it.
Ooh.
And we'll say that was retroactively taken care of. And we can go more into the specifics of that particular thing at a later date. But I need you to roll a name to a face.
Okay, instead can I do old friends, old favors? Instead of rolling name to a face, roll with mind?
We will say roll with mind instead, because even though you didn't directly meet this person, I want you to roll on the name Morgiana.
Okay! That's a 9, which makes it an 11.
Perfect.
They offer me comfort and aid, even if it exposes them to danger or retribution. So this person is a big fan of me.
This is actually very apropos. As you're working on this object, and we see you in your workshop working on it, there's grinding, there's hammer hitting, things of that nature. You're trying not to overextend yourself. And you start thinking about that name, Morgiana. Vera has read a lot of books, ranging on a large variety of topics, getting to know about fables in the area. And there's some fables that you're more accustomed to than others. And something hits you. There's a story that isn't from where you are from, but it's something you came across. It's something that maybe Amin might be more familiar with. The story of Ali Baba and 40 Thieves comes to mind. Within Ali Baba and 40 Thieves, it is a story about a man and his older brother, Kasim. They are sons of a merchant, but after their father's death, the greedy Kasim married a wealthy woman and became very well-to-do, building on their father's business, and Ali Baba married a poor woman and settled into the trade of a woodcutter. Things rigmarole to where there are a group of 40 thieves that Ali Baba overhears that where they store their treasures in a cave where the mouth is sealed by a huge rock that opens to the words "Open Sesame." Now, within that story, it's passed down from ages and ages, and people have believed that there's a time where there was a body that was hidden by a slave girl that worked for Ali Baba's brother, Kasim. But that's not true. The original text, the original story, the original fable, Morgiana is not a slave girl, but the humble daughter of Ali Baba, who helps her father, outwitting these 40 thieves and helping them reach great success and wealth beyond compare. You think and you remember a girl, curly hair, black as a raven's feathers, dark complexion, round eyes, big and brown and beautiful, who's come into your shop a couple of times, asking for Turkish coffee and sitting and reading her own books. And it clicks. And then you hear it's distinct. Typically you wouldn't hear things like this as you're working in your shop, but you can hear that rapping on your door, the front door.
Have I finished my object?
You
Have
have.
I finished my project? Great. Yeah, I tuck it into my pocket and head downstairs.
Almost as if the thread and the weave of fate has pulled you two together, you see that very girl standing outside your door. She looks haggard, a bit dirty. Her midsection is wrapped in bandages. And she has a look of pleading on her face, looking through the glass door to you.
Come in, love. What's...
Okay, good, you're home. I tried before, but nobody was here. I'm sorry. I don't know if you remember me. I just want to apologize very quickly. There's something that I stashed here that's very important. And
No, I know. I just found your note tonight, but whatever you've put here, the scroll, I'm guessing, it's gone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She looks crestfallen. She goes, okay.
Here, please come all the way inside, please. And
I have to
shut
find
the-
it. It's very important. She walks in,
Do you
but
know
she's...
who? I know who wants it.
You know who wants it.
I know one of the. I mean, before you stashed it here, before I knew it was stashed, I don't know exactly when you put it here, but
Remembrance Day.
yeah. So you stashed it here, the Remembrance Day. Well, earlier that evening, I suppose before you stashed it, the Russian like thread men,
Yes.
Masha,
them.
Piotr, yeah, they came by asking for it. I didn't have it. I didn't know anything about it, so I sent them on their way. But we know where the Klamushka. I don't know what you already know or what to catch you up on, but we know where they are.
Okay. Do they have it? You said it's not here anymore. Do they have it?
It's I don't know who has it. I know you mentioned someone found you, and you killed one of them, and I found one of them dead in a bathroom earlier that night, and a lot of Remembrance Day is starting to sort of add up for me now.
She spits.
However,
and she says, as long as they don't have it, then it's fine. The world is better
long as-
without that thing.
as long as Klamushka doesn't have it,
If that's what he's calling himself, yes.
that's what he's been called to us. So,
Yeah.
then I don't know that he has it or doesn't. I suppose Masha, one of his men, was still looking for it, so it could have fallen into somebody else's hands.
The big one?
The big one, yes, Masha.
Do you know where I can find him?
Right now, yes, but he's under a spell. It's a whole thing.
Good.
And I
He's-
don't.
He's neutralized, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I think before that, he was turning against Klamushka anyway. We got a full confession out of him. It was good.
Good. It's important that that thing stays lost. There are people trying to take something that doesn't belong to them, as they often do. If that is in the hands of the wrong person, it could spell doom.
Do you have a way to track it down?
No. And it's probably for the best. If it just stays lost in a trash can someplace or in a landfill on Staten Island or something, then that's for the better.
I mean, we don't know where it is.
Well, then, as long as he doesn't have it.
I'm fairly certain he doesn't. I think Masha would have said something if they got their hands on it. So.
I brought you something.
Oh.
I didn't know if you got my note or something, and I wanted to apologize. There's a very sweet old woman upstairs that I startled by sneaking into her window. Did you know that the laundry chute is connected all the way up from the top of the building to the bottom?
No, this is a fun piece of information I'm now getting about the architecture of the building I live in. Thanks, ma'am.
It took me a bit, but that's how I was able to get inside. You have a very well-guarded establishment.
Yes, honestly impressive that you made your way in, but...
I learned it from my pops. She reaches into her bag, and she pulls out a golden censer. It holds incense, things of that nature. You take it,
Yep.
She hands it over to you.
I take it, I take a look at it.
I am leaving town. I'm getting out of here. I'm going back home. This will help you. I know you didn't mean to give me such a great kindness, but I had to return an apology of sorts for utilizing your home for something.
Look, the shop... I made the shop because I know sometimes it's hard to get rid of the things that remind us of home, or the things that remind us of the parts of home that we don't want to remember. So if I can take this from you, then that's what I built this place for.
It's going to be much more useful to you, and I think the people who are your friends, than it will be to me.
Then I'm glad to take it. Thank you very much.
I just ask one thing of you. Two things. Respect it and use it wisely.
Always.
Never sell it. Never give it away.
I have a trunk upstairs. It'll fit right in. And I turn and I give her a little to-go cup of coffee with her name written on it. I don't think she actually introduced herself, but I figured,
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkish. It's bitter, but it's delicious. She nods, and she walks out of your shop.
I watch from the window
Mhm.
that she is safely out of sight before I see her go.
Nobody harasses her. Nobody stops her. It's as if somebody pulled a move last episode that meant that things got a little bit hairy for somebody else. I need you to go ahead and add to your inventory space, or possessions, things that you have. A golden censer, parentheses, empty, close parentheses. It doesn't have something inside of it. but it could definitely be used to contain something inside of it.
Okay. I will keep that in my little bag that I have.
Perfect.
My little like old lady grocery bag. Like,
Perfect. Is there anything else that you need to do?
I leave a note at the front of the shop.
What does it say?
I don't know. We'll find out if it becomes
Yeah,
relevant.
we'll find out.
I want to have a secret.
Okay, have a secret then. Speaking of secrets, let's go to Hana. Hana,
Hello.
how are you preparing
why
for what
it's
comes
Hana.
next? Yeah, you did a little bit of Mrs. Doubtfire there.
I don't know. I'm just really nervous.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all a little nervous. What are you doing?
I'm I guess prepping to go like we're fighting someone. Like there was that was the consensus. There was no talking that's gonna happen. We're just gonna go murder, right?
I don't think that was truly decided upon. I don't think there was really any plans made. But yeah. But you're preparing. So.
Yeah. I've put people to work cleaning up the upstairs. I've called people to clean. And I'm just back in my office part, the downstairs office. Stocking up and preparing.
You doing that? You've got your groups. You receive a notice from Yoon.
Uh-huh.
The Pan is here, Miss Hana.
The who?
The Pan. Peter.
Wait 15 minutes, let him in to the upstairs.
Got it. 15 minutes pass. You make your way up to your upper office. The Pan is shuffled in by Yoon. He's got something wrapped in a silk cloth. He looks harried. He looks fucked up. He looks at you and he goes, 15 minutes this time?
Next time it'll be 20.
You know, I have a distinct remembrance that you're using me to get things for you. And I thought you wanted these taken care of and in your position as fast as possible. But you know, you're just making me sit here and wait.
I had
Just
to get
like
to the
Gump is-
office. I had to do other things.
Very busy all the time. Yep.
Do you want to be paid or not?
I would love to be paid. As he sets the object on your desk and unfurls it, and you see a scimitar, golden blade, with inscriptions upon it in Arabic. The golden hilt that comes to a snake's head. He goes, "Is that what you're looking for?"
I appraise it. Is it what I've been looking for?
Roll mind.
Yeah, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. That's absolutely what you're looking for. He's tapping his motorcycle boots on the office floor.
I open a drawer and I pull out a stack of money and I put it on the desk.
Perfect. Is Gup getting out of prison?
Working on that still. And I open the drawer, pull out another stack of money, and put it on the desk. For your trouble.
Please roll hard.
I shouldn't have to roll hard. I gave him more money. 4.
He looks at your sword. He looks at the sword. He looks at the first stack of money and he takes it. Revels through it. You can keep that bit. You get Gup out, we're done.
Understood. Anything else?
I took down a whole pirate crew. I took over their ship. I collected me and my friends, and I've done a great many things. I have things that you don't know and possibly comprehend that I can do. And you use me and the rest of my friends as errand boys. You're powerful, and you've got a lot of reach, and you're terrifying. And he puts the money in his back pocket, and he pulls out a cigarette and he lights it. But from what I'm hearing, there's cracks starting to form. So I'm getting out while I can get out clean.
Then I would leave now before you say anything that you're about to regret.
It's the thing about me, Hana. I say what I mean. Really like the renovations going on. And he turns.
GM,
Yeah.
Pan is not a good person, is he?
He is the leader of a biker gang of miscreant used-to-be boys who are now men that drink and carouse and deal drugs and do smash and grab missions for you and grab things for you so that you can sell them.
I'm gonna let it out.
Okay.
I'm inflicting 4 harm on him.
Oh, God.
I'm taking his tongue. It'll grow back. He's a fable.
Popular
Right.
fable at that. Yep.
Yeah.
The flash of your eyes. An
Oh
unfurling...
wait, do I need to roll for that?
No. Oh, wait, yes. Please roll let it out.
I rolled a 4, but
You
but
took a new move.
here's the thing. I automatically advance 1 level.
Okay.
And then I have a spear that I recently came in possession, which means I automatically advance a 2nd level.
Is it on your person?
Yes.
Is the spear on your
That's
person?
what I was doing downstairs.
Okay.
I mean, I could only advance at 1 level. It's still a success.
It's still a success. Move it to a success. You move it to a 10 plus. Thus, you let it out. So choose. Do you mark corruption or do you take a complication?
I mark a corruption.
Okay, you mark a corruption. Energy flows around you. Your brilliant tales grow from around you. And almost like a sickness, this golden energy creeps and latches onto the Pan. He starts screaming and roiling around on the ground until finally it reaches into his mouth. And his tongue, like a seamstress cutting a bolt of fabric, is severed. And is on the ground. And it is collected and pulled back to you. He's screaming. He's holding his mouth. And he's just doing the... Oh! 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 Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
I said don't say anything else. And then I eat it. Because that's what I do.
Right in front of him. And he stands up. And he's bleeding from his mouth. And a dark look falls over his face. And he takes the hat off. And he just nods at you. And he walks out the door.
Have someone clean this up, please.
Absolutely.
Take the stack of money you didn't take, put back in the drawer, lock the drawer.
Somebody immediately is up there with a broom and a squeegee and a mop bucket. You hear the familiar squeaking of metal as you see Tiny Tim knocks on the door.
You have to send him up to... He's a child.
Actually, not a child. Actually,
That's true.
like 20 years old-ish.
Oh,
Like
Tiny
20
Tim's an adult now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let him in to clean it up.
He goes,
But before he comes in, I leave out the back. so he doesn't see me in that office at all.
In the upper office?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need to talk to Tiny Tim.
Got it. Is there anything else that you need to do?
I took the sword with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to. One of the last things I do is say a prayer at the shrine. But I am gonna, I think, call Vera, and probably because you're busy, just leave a voicemail.
Okay.
I found it.
Is that it?
You get the like I screened the phone call and saw the voicemail. I was like, what's it? Unless I'm actively in the middle of something, Wes, you can rule that I don't.
Absolutely, you're good.
Okay.
We'll say that the phone started ringing. The voicemail caught it as Morgiana was leaving, and then you catch it.
I mean, I probably would have let it go to voicemail anyway, but hearing it's Hana, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yep.
I found the snake sword.
Oh,
Well, I have it in my possession now.
great. So I'm supposed to give that to Tiny Tim. I know we could probably have that on the back burner with everything else we've got
He's
going on
currently
tonight,
cleaning
but-
my office.
So, do you want to give it to him?
Not
I don't know who
really.
he's working for, why he wants it, but I did tell him I would get it.
I also have this contracted to someone else.
Yes, because I sold it to Bluebeard. You are stealing it from Bluebeard. One of them is not the real Bluebeard. I think I sold it to the real Bluebeard. Yeah, I sold it to the real Bluebeard, so fake Bluebeard wants it from you. Which is
called Bluebeard then.
Klamushka. He's asleep.
The real one?
Yeah, he's passed out.
Oh, wait, I knew that.
Yeah, passed the hell out.
Real one's passed out.
So maybe I should just put this in a closet somewhere and lock it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's your call. You have it in your possession. I don't know why Tim wants it. Maybe you could figure out, ask Tim, say there's like a lead on it, see what he wants. I don't know. That's scheming beyond my sort of area of expertise, but.
Well, either way, I have it now. So we can decide what to do with it later.
Great.
If we need to.
Thank you very much, Hana.
Have a good night. Then I hang
You
up.
too. I think I'll see you in a while.
Hana, go ahead and make your roll to buff your guardians.
Get your dice. Do it again. What do I add to it?
Go ahead and roll spirit to it. Add spirit to it.
10.
10. All right. They will be buffed.
And cool. Then yeah. So since I have the sword now, that means I finished my original scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a payout.
Yep.
The retire your character to safety is looking really, really nice right
Yeah,
now. Just
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm done, y'all. I got my sword. Have a good
We're not
night.
gonna
You
have-
Did you Nixon?
Thank you, April Ray Gun. That's a wrap
Have
on
a
April
good
Ray
night.
Gun.
Have a good night,
That's a
everyone.
wrap on April Ray
My
Gun.
job is done.
Amazing.
I'm gonna resolve a trouble, I think.
Okay. What trouble are you looking to resolve?
Well, actually, no, I only have 2 troubles. I don't actually have that many troubles. When it says acquire a new asset, what does that mean?
For you, acquire a new asset. That can be... What is an asset to Hana? Is it a new connection? Is it a new... I mean, you just lost an employee. It could be a new employee. It could be a new item. It could be a new thing for your club.
We'll take... No, I'll make that my next scheme. My next scheme should be find people to work for me.
Okay, perfect.
I think I'll resolve a trouble,
Okay.
and I will a besmirched reputation complementing any new deals. I no longer have a bad reputation.
Perfect.
I think ripping out Peter's tongue scared everyone to stop talking shit.
Got it. Perfect. Go ahead and mark that. Hana, as you're getting ready to meet up, and we'll say as you're getting ready to meet up with everybody, because we're going to say kind of coordinate. You're all going to meet up, essentially the business office after this, brevity's sake, all that stuff. You make your way back up to your upper office, and you see their perfectly clean, spick and span office. There was never a sign that Peter and his filth was here. There's a note on your desk.
What's it say?
It says, "Just thought you should know. There's a door from a sewer at the port that leads right up into the middle of his operation. Tiny T."
God damn it. Is he still in the building?
You can check.
I immediately buzz security. Is Tiny Tim still here?
His shift is about to be up. He looks like he's getting ready to leave.
Send him up.
A few
Please.
moments pass. You hear a knock on your door.
Enter.
You hear the creaking of metal. Miss Hana, you wanted to see me?
Just gonna point at the note.
Yeah.
How do you know the location?
I mean, people don't really notice me. And you didn't even know I worked for you. So I just kind of hear things.
Apologies.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
What do you want with the sword?
It's gonna help me and my family out a lot.
How is it gonna do that?
I need you to roll to persuade an NPC. Roll with heart, please.
Don't I have something for this? Nope, that's when I refuse to do something.
Yep.
7. 8.
8? 8? So to persuade an NPC, if
I
you
really
roll a
like
7 to 9, they counter your offer or demand payment, a debt, a favor, resource, before agreeing to follow through.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna put a stack of money on the desk next anyway.
Do you do that?
Yes.
He looks at it, he looks at you. Somebody I work for wants it.
And who is that?
Do you promise not to get mad at me?
I promise on everything here not to get mad at you.
Her name is Mary.
Mary. There's lots of Marys.
He just looks at you. It's not quite contrary. It's not Magdalene.
Damn it. Do I know what Mary this is?
Go ahead and roll mind for me. He said it's not quite contrary, but there is the one that had a little lamb.
Yeah, there's like 3 Marys. So.
There's a handful of them. There's a lot of Marys across fairy tales and more in folklore.
8.
There's one Mary that you met. Came to your store. It came into your club. Wanted to use it for a private event.
I wrote this down. Shit, April doesn't remember, but Hana would remember. This was
She had short cropped hair with red highlights in it.
Mary
Slender
Poppins.
and stern. No. Stern and slender, leather jacket, black tank top, black leather pants, and boots, heeled boots. She was with one of the Tweedles.
Yeah, I know. I just don't remember who she was.
You can roll, put a name to a face for me.
Damn it, Wes.
You're gonna roll on the
My
night.
notes.
You're gonna roll in the night circle.
8. I keep rolling 8s.
Okay. April Ray Gun. Okay. On a hit, you know their reputation. This is a Mary that is utilized in... is not really a folklore or a fable, but kind of a scary story. People will go into a dark bathroom and look in a mirror and say her name multiple times.
Bloody.
And Tim just nods. And you see him instinctively look at a mirror in your office and then look back at you.
Don't worry, I won't say it anymore.
Relaxes.
So you're working for her now?
Not now. Been working for her.
Why does she want the sword? I put another stack of money on the table.
I can't take that. Because I
Why
can't
not?
tell you what you want to know.
Do you not know, or can you not tell me?
My lips are sealed. I can see April debating to maiming another NPC of mine.
I would like to let it out again.
Oh no.
But this time, I want to sniff out a secret stash. I want to know if he has anything hidden on him right now.
Go ahead and roll spirit.
6, but advance.
You're so lucky with your moves there, April Reagan.
Guess who read what things do?
Take a complication or a
Oh
corruption.
no, I'm corrupted again.
Is the season.
I'm speed running now. Let's see if I can
You're
corrupt myself out by the end of this game.
So fast. Okay, you're gonna let me know what move you take. And
I haven't leveled yet. I have
you
one
haven't
more
leveled?
corruption
Okay,
level.
okay. Oh, you're at 4. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
But if there's anything hidden on him, I want it.
You can feel there's a burning coming from his inside jacket pocket.
And I just reach out and grab it.
He goes, "Hey, what are you?" And then you just grab it, and there is a very nice golden watch, and on the back of it, engraved, is a inscription that says, "So that you always have time to do what you need." And instead of a name or anything, there is just a little carving. Looks like a deer.
How cute.
It was a gift.
From?
My lips are sealed.
I don't want to hurt you. People
don't.
like you.
Then don't.
Why are you working for him?
I don't know if you know this, but rent is really high in the city and utilities stack on top of it.
I am offering you money right now to tell me what you know about them and not work for them anymore, and I will make sure you're taken care of.
My lips are sealed.
Don't go anywhere. Someone call Maddie.
Okay.
I need magic people. I don't know.
And on that, we are going to roll over to Amin. Amin. What are you doing?
Yes. If the scene was to focus on Amin right now, you would see him furiously typing away at his typewriter. He is just putting everything down. He's like ripping off pages. He's like, I'm finishing this fucking book. And he gets everything down. It just doesn't take him that long because he's been working on it with his tape recorders and everything like that. He's been recording things. He bought a new tape recorder.
Perfect.
That was the first thing he did after he talked to Big B.
Got it.
And then he makes a call.
Okay.
He's been putting this one off for a moment.
Okay.
For a while now. He's gonna call Dr. Rashid. Or Isabella.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. Phone rings. Picks up. Dr. Isabella Rashid.
Bella?
Is this who I think it is?
It is. Listen, I know you probably don't want to talk to me. Doing this whole thing for a long time. But I want to tell you. I am involved in something big. Really big. Bigger than I've ever been involved in. And I don't necessarily know if it's bad or good. It's in that whole morally gray area sort of thing.
Are you calling me to be your conscience right now? I mean...
No. I'm calling you to tell you that I'm sorry. For everything. All that happened between us. The breakups, the back and forths, the me being flaky as fuck sometimes and letting my work and life get in the way of everything. And if I don't get another chance to talk to you, I just want to tell you that.
I mean, please roll hard to persuade an NPC.
Oh. Okay. Woo. That is 14. I rolled double sixes, baby.
Holy shit. On a 12 plus, they do what you ask and help you see through it to its end. There's a long pause. Do you mean it?
Of course I mean it.
What are you doing tonight?
Honestly, maybe dying.
Good. If you end up in the emergency room, we'll have a date then.
Are you sure?
You're gonna have to do a lot of groveling and gifts and begging. But yeah. I was gonna hang up on you, but I can kind of tell that there's a little bit of... Well, there's a lot of compassion in your voice.
I'm not the same as I used to be. I won't say if that's for better or worse, but I tell you that I've made some changes.
Let's see. If you don't die tonight, then call me tomorrow.
Okay.
And mean?
Yeah.
If you bring that tape recorder with you, I'm going to snap it in half.
I love you, Bella. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Amin. And then click.
Amin picks up the phone again.
Okay.
And he makes another call
Mm-hmm.
to another girl.
Okay. We're going to call this one Amanda Moynihan. You hear loud music in the background. Hello?
Are you working right now?
Oh, no, okay, so... Is this Amin?
Yes.
Okay, alright. I have a total earful for you, mister. Okay? I've called you multiple times and you haven't picked up. And I'll tell you right now, you want to know where I'm at right now? So my cousin knows a guy who's a club promoter and he's got me a job and I'm getting ready to go on and everything like that. And you just haven't been answering my calls. So I figured, you know what? I might just take this promoter out, okay? How does that sound to you, Amin? How does that sound?
That sounds great. I was hoping that that you could move on with your life.
I need you to roll heart to persuade an NPC.
That's an 11.
On a 10 plus. Oh, no. Just on a hit. They see your point and do as you ask. She goes, you know what? I had a long drawn out thing that I was going to say to you, but you know what? It takes a lot of balls to call somebody up and tell them that.
I don't like keeping people in a holding pattern, and I don't want you to wait for me and not be able to move on. And I really do wish the best for you.
I mean this with all the love and compassion in my heart. I hope you find what you're really looking for. And I hope that I
Me too.
never see you again.
Fair enough.
But if you want to come by Oasis on Fridays through on Saturdays, I will be performing. So, come by, throw some tips and everything like that. Have a good time. Bye. Click.
With that, Amin just hangs up the phone, and certainly the last thing he's going to do, because Amin is not plotting like everyone else. Amin already has all his plots in place. He's working with Midas, yada yada yada.
You been putting in work?
He's going to go and see Nerissa.
Okay. It's not her shift yet.
That's all right. He's going there to see Georgie first.
Okay. You drive, take your Audi. Do you pull up in front of the pudding and pie, or are you going to park in an alley?
Amin's not one for subtlety. Not with Georgie.
Absolutely not. You go ahead and pull right up, and you see Hans standing there. He's not wearing his normal outfit that he wears at the club. He's just wearing his normal everyday city clothes. And he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Begg, good to see you."
Lovely to see you as always, Hans. Is your boss here?
Yeah, and Nerissa's here too. She's getting ready to start her shift later. She wanted to talk to you.
I need to speak to Georgie, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, you just go right on through. I think she's in the, I'll have him come talk to you by the bar, because she's getting ready, and you kind of have to go through.
Sounds good.
Okay. And he goes inside. He's like, "Follow me." And he takes you to, like, a shadowy part of the bar that you can see. There's, it's a pudding and pie, center stage, all that stuff. You go by the bar, wall of liquor. It's a wraparound bar. And you see the bat that was kept in the office of Georgie Porgy, the cricket bat, has now been moved out into the right behind the bar that has crowd control written on it. And he goes, "Do you need a drink or anything?"
Yeah, let me get a beer. Just whatever.
All right.
comes out.
All right, perfect. Yeah, just tap the keg. Gets it ready, and then you can hear the boots walking across the carpeted floor. Yeah. Well, well, well. Click of a lighter. "Look who's decided to darken my doorstep. Mr. Begg in the flesh." How you doing, chap?
I'm doing great, Georgie. I'm doing better than ever. You know why, Georgie?
Why is that, Mr. Begg?
Because everything is working out for me. Do you know what that feels like, Georgie? I don't think you do, but I'm just asking just to make sure.
If you were asking a younger Georgie Porgy, then I'd tell you that no, I have no idea what that feels like. But this past week, everything's been coming up daisies and petunias, my friend.
That's great, Georgie. I'm about to make your day even better. right?
Fantastic.
So I've just come across a rather large windfall. You could call it my golden goose if you'd like to. And I think I'm interested in property management. It's been something I've been pondering for quite a while, and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking, I like this place. I spend a lot of time here, money here, and I'm just gonna buy it.
You're just gonna buy it.
Yes.
The pudding and pie.
Yes. It's a shitty name too. I'm absolutely going to change that.
His eyes flick to the cricket bat, back to yours.
Don't think about it.
Oh, I'm thinking about it, Mr. Beg.
You can, but I promise you, you'll regret it. You see, there's two ways this can go. I can buy this place and you accept the offer, or I'll make your life a living hell. And you can beat me, you'll hurt me, I'll get past it, I'll get back to my life, and I'll still buy this place.
I don't think even a man of your inordinate amount of wealth could be able to purchase this place.
You see, I don't need to buy this place myself. I have, again, what I said, my golden goose. Have you heard the story of a man who everything he touches turns to gold?
Midas cunt, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say we're business partners now. And you're you. And you treat these women like shit. And I love a working girl, obviously. But I don't love you being in charge of them.
Roll to persuade an NPC.
Oh boy. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. Y'all been doing me good, doing me good. That is an 8.
So, for flavor, because he's stuck in my web, I'm actually going to get in the way of Amin's efforts.
You get a +1 on going to lend a hand or get in the way of their efforts. All right. Go ahead and roll. Two d6s, and you're gonna roll with Mortalis.
Me?
Yes.
That, my friends, is a 10.
On a hit, give them a +1 or a -2 to their roll.
I'm going to give him a -2. And this is why. I've been talking to Georgie, low-key, since that day.
Oh God.
I may or may not have given him some insider information. Without names, of course. And I may have told him that it would behoove him to be in my good graces. For unknown reasons. Whether or not he decided to take that is entirely up to him.
Okay. He's gonna look at you. And he looks angry. But then a smile breaks across his lips. Grabs a cigarette. Mr. Big, There's nothing more in this life than I would like to be rid of this place, to sell you for a ridiculous amount of money and go retire. Thing is, someone's already beat you to the punch there, chap. I'm just acting manager. So, I'm gonna ask you to enjoy your pint there. Go ahead, get those fizzy bubbles in your tummy. Take your shoes and walk your fancy Italian suit ass wearing self out of this building, or I'm gonna have Hans kick you out.
Georgie, you see, I'm gonna do half of that. And I say this very kindly because I know you're a fucking idiot who would absolutely commit assault on someone who has the resources I have, which is absolutely fine. It's not the first time I've been threatened. Probably won't be the last before the day is over, honestly. But. You know what I know that you like more than anything else, Georgie? Power.
Mm-hmm.
And this, honestly, is small potatoes for you. You see, this was always the second part of my offer, right? Don't believe that I was just going to come in here and half-ass it and just think you were going to be like, oh, I'll absolutely just sell this place to you, easy peasy.
He goes, I would
Sweetest
let
pie.
you finish here, bro. Hans, he's gonna call up Hans. Hans is gonna walk over and say, yeah, boss? Would you go tell Narissa to go clean out her locker? She's fired. Are you sure, boss? He looks at you. Am I sure?
Georgie, I want to do a thing.
Okay.
And this is for you, storyteller.
Okay.
Georgie,
Yeah?
I've just made an incredible power play in Fabletown. How would you like to be sheriff?
I need you to roll to persuade an NPC at a disadvantage. So you're gonna roll 3 dice and pick the 2 lowest.
I have a question for you on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Because I have Tongued in Silver from the Tainted playbook.
Indeed, you do.
And I want to figure out if this, I'm trying to figure them out by tempting them with power.
When you figure someone out by tempting them with power, roll with heart instead of mind.
I want to know if he's into this.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Hi, me again.
What did you get?
You triggered my trap card.
That's a 12, baby.
Okay,
Wait, no, that's double sixes again, so it's 14.
14. You want to go ahead and use your web move there, Khadija? It'll bring it down to
I don't
a
think
12.
it's. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter
Oh no! Why?
because it's
14
only
to a 12?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. On a 12 plus, we'll figure someone out. You can ask any questions you like,
You
not
roll.
limited to the list.
Okay, I'm going to DM you something.
Go ahead. Go ahead and DM
I'm gonna
something.
DM you something.
Go ahead and ask your questions, Amin. Oh God, by God, by God.
God's my
You can
witness.
ask any questions about him right now. You got a 12 plus.
Oh, all right. Well, I want to know who's in charge then. Because he said he's just the person who's running the place. He's just the manager, but he's not the person who owns the place.
Got it. Got it. I will let you know. I will let you know that. Okay, go. So you want to know who? I'll tell you. You can just tell from the signs. He has no connection with Klamushka or anything like that, but he works for somebody that's very powerful. Not Midas, because you know that you're working for Midas, that whole connection. Nobody would touch Midas with a 10-foot pole right now. Doesn't work for Fabletown. Crooked Man. Straight up. Downtown. Are you really going to love me forever? It's Crooked Man that he works for. Any other questions you want to know?
Well, the other one is obvious. How do I get to have a one-on-one with the Crooked Man?
All you got to do is ask.
Perfect. All right. I don't want to ask any more questions. I just want to tell Georgie a thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Georgie, I want to let you know that there are a bunch of people coming for your boss. And when he goes down, you go down even further because no one likes you. You know it as well as I do. I'm leaving, but I want you to remember what I offered you. You remember what you passed up. Because I'm so much smarter than the rest of these fucks that you surround yourself with. Good luck, buddy.
As you turn and you're walking out, he goes, "It's a good answer. Not the right answer, Mr. Big. I'm not going to fire Narissa Hans, but I think I'm going to take a really personal interest in her affairs. Because as you know, last session, Khadija rolled fake news to weaken someone's standing. And she chose you, Mr. Big. And I think that plays out nicely. You turn and you walk out. Is there anything else you need to do, Mean?
Yeah. There's one last thing.
Okay.
I am owed a debt by one of the Tweedles.
You are.
I'm calling that in.
Okay. Calling in a debt. What?
Yeah.
You go ahead and pull out your phone. You got his number.
I'm a call. Well, I'm assuming the one that is the least named.
yeah, that's Dumb, not D.
I'm gonna call Tweedledum.
Okay.
Hey there, buddy.
Oh, who's this? Oh, shut up, D. You'll get over it soon. How can I help you? Who is this?
So this is a mean bag.
Ah, Mr. Big.
Yeah, fancy shirts, sunglasses, that guy.
I did bump into you and knocked some coffee on that nice shirt of yours. I do apologize again. What can I do you for?
You're good at being muscle, right?
Absolutely, I'd say it's one of my prime attributes, unless there's a nefarious four-legged creature about.
I don't know about any nefarious four-legged creatures, but I do know one that is apparently very crooked.
Ah, yes, indeed.
I'm going to have... I know several people are looking to take that player off the board.
Interesting.
When the time comes...
Uh-huh.
I want to have your help to make sure that doesn't happen.
That it doesn't happen?
Indeed, sir.
I think I can make that happen for you perfectly, Mr. Veg. You can hear that smile across the phone. Of course.
Also, please don't set anything else on fire in the meantime.
Oh! Honestly. Total misunderstanding. Absolutely. We were looking for the borrow. And we found the burrow. Common
right.
mistake.
It is absolutely something that can happen, especially when you don't use English as a first language. I got you.
Absolutely. You catch my drift. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Mr. Beg.
Excellent. You too.
Got it.
That's all Amin wants to do for this night.
Perfect. Buffkin. And then we'll get to Maddie. And then we will take
Now
a break.
for something completely different.
Who are you going to betray in the next 10
I
minutes?
know, right? Everyone. No. Buffkin went back to the business office. Initially, oh god, the phone was left on the hook. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I feel like first things first. What's the name of this fucking thing? That's a tend to my business, please.
Got it. Okay. Tend to your business. Here we go. Go ahead and roll. And you're going to roll with your own circle.
Which is wild. That's an 11.
Nice. On a 10 plus, ask the MC a follow-up question. Okay, so on a hit, an interesting opportunity presents itself to you. The MC will tell you what you need to do to seize it. On a 10 plus, ask the MC a follow-up question. They will answer it honestly. Okay. So you're just making sure everything at the business office is taken care of, things of that nature. Everything's rolling through. And there's a knock on the door for the business office.
Come in.
The door opens, and you see a man. He is wearing very nice slip-on shoes. He is wearing very nice clothing. It's a little bit like, I would say, modernized Middle Eastern wear. Very breezy, but looks modernized. He has sunglasses on and a cap. And he goes, hello, is this, the business office, correct?
That is correct. Welcome. What can I do for you?
I am, one of the new residents on the 13th floor. My name is Vikram. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Buffkin.
Pleasure. And are you still glamored up, Buffkin?
No, he's
Okay.
not.
Okay. I know there's been a mix-up that happened at your Remembrance Day Gala, and there were a lot of people asleep. And I was wanting to offer my services to help out however I could.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Glad things move quickly around town. So what can you do about that exactly?
Well, me and some of my associates are very talented in the magical arts, and we won't be able to wake people up.
Right?
But we do have manners of things at our ability that we can help lessen the confusion when they do.
Well, that's already new information because I did not know that when we wake them up, they would be confused. So we're off to a great start.
Typically, when you're in a coma or some kind of magical trance, there's a loss of time. The passage of time can be disruptive, confusing. There might be some expulsion of fluids and things of that nature, and I was just wondering if we could be of assistance to help out with that.
Well, that's really most generous of you. But if I'm assuming Bibby's not here.
No. Big B is cooling off.
Yeah, certainly. But if the acting mayor was here, he would probably yell at me if I didn't ask. What's exactly in it for you?
Well, I am a new tenant here, and I've noticed some things have been in a little bit of disrepair. There's some catch-up that needs to be done, and I would just like to have my presence here and my stay here at the Woodland Apartments to be as peaceful as possible.
Certainly, that makes sense.
As well, I know that Mr. Crane and Old King Cole like to make requests of certain 13th floor members.
Certainly.
I would like for me and my ilk to not be bothered.
I think we can make that happen for you.
Perfect. No requests for glamours or potions or anything of that such should be brought to me and my people, and for that we shall provide assistance when we can.
I think that sounds absolutely fair.
We have a deal then.
We do.
Extends
Reaches
a
out
hand.
and yep,
Takes her hand.
absolutely.
Goes, we'll get right on it then. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Buffkin, right?
That's correct.
If there's ever an election for a new mayor, you should consider running for it.
Huh. I never even considered it. Actually, to be very honest with you, between you and I, being deputy mayor has turned out to be quite a lot.
The yoke of service is thrusted upon those who do not expect it.
Yeah. That, yeah.
Another thing could be said that those who seek power should absolutely not be granted it, but those that rise to the occasion should.
Damn, you're wise.
I've heard that before.
I'm glad that your previous engagements agree with me.
And you can feel a wink behind the sunglasses. Have a wonderful rest of your day, Buffkin Deputy Mayor.
Sure, you too.
Turns and he walks out.
What a nice guy.
Yeah. Very nice guy. Anything else you need to do, Buffkin? You've tended to your
Yes.
business?
So as the sun begins to set and preparing himself for what is to come, as everyone's supposed to be meeting up, he flies upstairs and sort of sighs, and there is sort of a clinking of bottles as there are hundreds of them on the floor of this small itty-bitty establishment. His bed is actually sort of like crooked, like up a little bit because there's like hundreds of bottles underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of moves them around, and the bed sort of slams into place, and he pulls out a small chest and opens it, and inside is a golden pommeled silver bastard sword. It'll probably be a long sword in anyone else's hand, as well as a sheet of chainmail and a golden helmet with a monkey on, sort of a monkey kind of crowed up and just kind of like roaring.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of goes to sort of grab them,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually takes the sword and
Gets the feel for it.
he hasn't touched it since that fateful day.
Yeah.
None of this. I'm gonna let it out,
Okay.
and I'm going to compel the elements of my court to reveal what they've seen. And he sighs again, and he reaches out to the Wicked Witch of the West.
Roll with spirit, please.
That's in 8.
Mm-hmm. So, when you roll to let it out, on a hit, mark corruption and activate the ability. The MC will tell you how the effect is costly, limited, or unstable. You're going to rip a hole, essentially, in your attic. A wide, amazing, expansive hole that's just going to destroy half of your room.
As the wind sort of ticks up.
Yep.
Not what I had planned for an addition, exactly.
As you go ahead and you call upon it, wearing your armor with your sword, you hear a as the wind picks up.
I think you peaked.
I did peak. I'm gonna have to affect that. It's a great and wild and wicked laugh, and half of your attic gets ripped away as a swirl of green wind, and you see a large face loom with a tall, pointed black hat and a green face with a crooked nose. And she goes, "My most loyal and kind General Buffkin, how can I help you?"
And I'm West. In some time.
It has been quite a long time.
How are things on your end?
Gotten better. The dour still, but things are moving.
Speaking of moving, I was wondering if I could, as always, first of all, thank you again for allowing me to come to you in a very dark hour of mine. Honestly, the most dark I've ever had.
A lot has happened, Buffkin.
Yes.
What do you need,
I was-
darling?
I was wondering if you knew what the Crooked Man looked like.
I can show you that. And she goes ahead, and you see a hand appear and a swirl. And from it, smoke billows up, and it forms into a person. It turns tall and gangly. A black pinstripe suit with red stripes, very thin. A black cane with a gold tip and a gold handle, very crooked, looks like a gnarled tree branch. He's wearing a shirt with an ascot, and he's got brown receding hair that's swept back. Deep green eyes, and half of his face. The eyes droop down, the mouth is drooped down, and he walks with a limp. This fellow,
Do I hear him?
he says, there once was a crooked man who lived on a crooked street. And he recites that entire thing.
It matches the description and tone.
Mm-hmm.
And like his wings sort of unfurl and sort of slacken, and his shoulders sort of slacken. His eyes well up. You have been keeping this from me.
I've been keeping what from you, Buffkin?
I've been looking for this man. You know what this man did to me, to my family.
Buffkin, I think you might be looking for ghosts where they aren't, or replacing them for those who do not deserve your wrath. But if what you have planned for him is delightfully wicked, who's to say for me to stop you?
I just want my family back.
Noble request. And now I have a request of you, Buffkin.
Sure you do.
I heard along the grapevine that you got help from the great and powerful. And it hurt Mummy so bad. So I need you to do something for me.
What will it be?
Sycorax, also known as Medea, or Maddie to some. Get close to her. Become familiar with her. And then let me know everything about her. And she is calling on a debt.
I tell her everything that I know about Maddie.
Before you start, she holds up a hand. She says, I want everything, Buffkin.
What do you mean?
Her secrets, her lies, where she's from, where she gets her power. I want everything.
Consider it done.
Such a good and loyal general. Proud and noble. Someone's calling. I must get back. Important business is afoot. Be good, Buffkin. And
You know I will.
naked.
And maybe not the last part.
And she gives out one last shrill laugh and swirls up and disappears. Is there anything else, Buffkin?
He wipes his tears, takes a moment to compose himself, gets all ready to go, shink to sword to the back, flies back down, and goes over to the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Swirls to life.
Mirror, mirror, while I'm out and about, I've got a request, and I'm not sorry. Will you make sure that if I don't make it, that Miss Vera gets my Atari?
An odd scheme, but your rhyme holds true. I'll make sure that Miss Vera gets this gift from you.
He just waits.
Perfect. One more, and then we're going to break. Maddie.
Jesus, this is a lot. A lot of shit afterwards. Okay, let's go. 2 things I want to do.
Uh-huh.
I would like to look into who Klamushka is.
Okay.
I feel like I can do that at my sanctum.
You can.
To do
Absolutely
research.
can. To do research in your sanctum.
I would also love to, if I can't talk to Bigby, go to the business office to get more information about Shanti.
Okay. You want to learn more about Klamushka? No problem, but... it will require a part of yourself or a comparable sacrifice to complete. And it's going to mean exposing anyone nearby to serious fallout.
When you say nearby, do you mean like where I am, or do you mean like a part of my circle of people?
That's for me to know and for you to
Of course.
find
Okay.
out.
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
What do you want to know about Klamushka?
I want to know if that's his real name.
It is not. It is
Okay,
one of many names.
What is his actual name?
Goes by many names, but the one that he is known by is Rumpelstiltskin.
Would Maddie know who Rumpelstiltskin is?
Absolutely.
Okay, like I wouldn't have to like put a name to the faces. Like we all know who the
we
fuck
all know
Rumpelstiltskin is.
Rumpelstiltskin
Okay,
yeah.
just want to make sure.
Nobody knew that he made it out of the homelands, though.
Ah, okay. So
All of his wealth was stolen, and so...
found that out.
Mhm.
Awesome. Then, would there be any information about Shanti in my sanctum? Because it sounds like she's not a fable at all.
She is
So-
not a fable.
So, yeah, then I would do research of my own. Probably don't see anything in my old library. And then I'm going to leave and go to the business office
Okay.
to see if I can find one Bigby Wolf or Buffkin.
You are going to bump into Bigby Wolf in the hallway. He smells like booze. He goes,
Oh. Are you okay?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm actually pretty awesome right now, if that makes any sense. Found out who Klamushka was, actually. Real name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that is...
Rumpelstiltskin.
He spits.
Was that because of the liquor, or was that because of his name? Because either
I
way.
hate that motherfucker so much.
Don't we all? But yeah, that's his real name, and that's all I need. But I have a favor for you. It's about I'm sorry, Sheriff, doing your job too terrible.
As your mayor,
And Mayor and Sheriff, my apologies. She does a deep bow.
you don't have to do all that, please. Get out
If
of
you-
here.
No, soak it in. Rain in it. It's
I
okay.
hate
it's
this
all
shit so much.
right. Bottom line is, It's about Shanti.
Okay.
She put her name on the lease, correct?
She did sign it.
Can I look at that documentation?
That's a confidential document.
I will owe you something.
Anything?
Anything.
Walks. He says, follow me.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a crash upstairs, and then you hear him go, whatever the fuck you're doing up there, Buffkin, it better not be destroying anything.
That was Puffkin?
It's mine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Now, I, in good conscience and faith, cannot show you any documents pertaining to a member of Fabletown because you are not part of the Fabletown offices. You've not been elected, you've not been hired as a civil servant. It'd be really, really awful for me to take this folder here, of which has all of the deeds for all of the 13th floor and other fables that live in this building, to be at your disposal.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But
that would be horrible.
I can't show it to you. Highly protected.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna go take a piss. So I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
If I can help you with anything else, be sure to take a number. And he goes ahead and he sets the folder on his desk and turns and walks towards a sign that says bathrooms.
Thank you, Mayor and Sheriff. Dips deeply again. Oh, wonderful, Mayor. Doing a great job. Love to see it.
Just holds up a fist with a middle finger up as he walks into the restroom.
Just like does the whole like dainty wave back, but then turns back around and going to look through those documents.
Got it. Yeah, you flip through and you find the deed, or not the deed, but the lease, the rental agreement for Shanti's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for exactly?
So I'm looking for any previous residents as well as if that's her actual name, or the name she goes by.
It is not her actual name.
Interesting.
It's just what she signed, Shanti. You don't really have to use proper names when signing for leases at the Woodland Apartments. Because it's not really like a credit score check kind of thing. It's kind of like a deciding whether or not people can live there or not.
Hmm. See anything else about her? Previous residents, probably.
There was an apartment in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, opposite from Central Park, from where Fabletown is located. She lived there for about 2 years. No previous residents before that.
Are there any references on the sheet?
That she provided for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No references. None were needed because it was an agreement between Big B
Gotcha.
and Khadija.
God damn it. What she says is she's looking through, nothing important. But then she remembers that she has Shanti's antler earrings.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna pull that out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do psychometry on them.
Oh boy. All right. Let's go. Psychometry. Roll spirit.
9.
On a 7 to 9.
And
and +1. Yes. Okay, so then
you're-
10.
there we go.
Okay, part of the
Thank
way.
you.
So that's a 10. You have to ask 3 questions on the psychometry list. What is the history of it? What bans, wards, or limits are attached to it? Where does this object belong? What secrets or mysteries has this object been privy to? What strong emotions have most recently been near this object?
What secrets or mysteries has this object been privy to? What is the history of this object? What bans, wards, or limits are attached to this object?
Last one's easy. There's none.
Okay, well, god damn it.
Second one. These are gazelle antlers that have been carved and turned into earrings. They had a type of energy wrapped within them. As you're starting to learn, tracking energy. And your first question: These secrets have been privy. These earrings have been privy to every secret that's been privy to you for the past few days since you grabbed them. But also a myriad of secrets of what Shanti's been doing her time here in New York City. They're kind of like recorder earrings. They kind of hold memories within them. And I'm not going to, for brevity's sake, it's a lot of bad shit. A lot of magic rituals, a lot of spells cast around it, a lot of identity theft to get here. And you witness what we witnessed at the prologue as well.
Wow, okay. This is what killed her. Puts it back in her pocket. Am I in the business office?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the mirror.
Okay.
Really trying. All right. Goes up to the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I have a rhyme for Shanti. I'm just trying to remember what it was.
Okay.
But it's gonna go up to the mirror. Hello, old friend.
Hello. How are
Any
you
hard
doing
feelings?
today?
You seem to not like to deal with me.
I'm just remembering our past times in the past and many goblets thrown.
Yes. Yeah, those are good times, weren't they? For me, not for you. Thank you for witnessing. I'm looking for someone. Let me see. There is a woman named Shanti that is out and adored. Tell me a little bit about her lore.
The one you call Shanti is not from our lands. She's from a place across the water, though that was not her original lands. She's lived many lifetimes, lived and died. Some have tried to stop her. Many have tried. And to stop the rhyming here, essentially what he's telling you is, he gives you the history. Shanti is from like Eastern West Africa. She is not exactly of this time. She's died and been resurrected multiple times as a tool for somebody to use. Eventually, she got free of this, took her revenge on this man that used her, and decided that she needed to learn more to get revenge on a lot of great and many people. Multiple times she's lived and died, but she's always been brought back because there's a curse on her. It's similar to like the Dorian Gray kind of thing. She can't really perish, she can't really age until she views something.
What is this thing that she needs to view? Exactly.
It's not clear. But it's not a painting, but an object, a jar. A very cracked, very barely held together jar. She seems to be outrunning it.
Okay. Good to know. Well, if I cannot find this jar, something else then. Turns in the mirror again. I want to cut, end, maim. Please give me her goddamn name.
I hope your intent is noble. I hope it's true. Her true name is Almana Owusu.
Above game. That was awesome, Wes. Okay. Noble, but what I will be doing is not. Thank you, old friend. Sorry about the goblin throwing.
Baby steps.
Yep. And then turns around and walks out.
For brevity's sake, so we can please get a break for these actors as they are doing a wonderful job here. You make your way back to your sanctum, and there's a phone call for you. Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Is this Maddie?
This is her.
This is Alex from the Burrow. Your presence is being requested.
Oh, goody. That's great. Of course. By all means. I will appear.
Perfect. And we'll deal with that, and then we'll get into the tail end of our